Hey Cowboys Nation, let's go for another round of news from America's team. Watch until the end so you don't miss any news and sign up to stay tuned for everything that comes out about the Cowboys.
Cowboys pressed to replace Dak Prescott with 3-9 TD QB. The Dallas Cowboys could consider replacing Dak Prescott with a surprising option. While the Cowboys will enter the 2024 season with Dak Prescott as its starting quarterback, the future beyond that is uncertain. That is because while Dallas has publicly supported the idea of Prescott as its longtime franchise quarterback, they won't be signing him to a contract extension at the current moment. With the Cowboys' future at quarterback beyond 2024 a question mark, former general manager and current ESPN NFL analyst Mike Tannenbaum suggests that Dallas select University of Washington quarterback Michael Penix Jr. in the 2024 NFL Draft. Tannenbaum makes the comparison to when the Green Bay Packers selected Jordan Love when they still had Aaron Rodgers and the Baltimore Ravens selecting Lamar Jackson when they had Joe Flacco. Tannenbaum discussed the scenario while appearing on ESPN's Get Up on Friday, March 29. "This is about taking advantage of an opportunity," Tannenbaum said. "Brett Favre was in the prime of his career when Aaron Rodgers fell, and they took him. Now, the difference with Jordan Love, they gave up a fourth-round pick and moved up. Joe Flacco was in the prime of his career, Baltimore moved up, and, look how that worked out with Lamar Jackson. That's what great organizations do. They take advantage of opportunities, and all I'm saying is I think that Dak Prescott's better, but I'm hard-pressed to say that any of us think that he's $52 million per year better than Penix." Michael Penix Jr., quickly raising draft stock. Penix would obviously be selected with the intention of making him Prescott's eventual successor, possibly as soon as the 2025 season. If the Cowboys are to make a move for Penix, it would likely have to be in the first round. Dallas currently holds the 24th overall pick in the draft while Penix is quickly moving up mock draft boards. The 23-year-old quarterback had a sensational performance at the Combine and followed that up with a strong showing at his pro day, registering a surprising 4.51 40-yard dash showing. He also had a 36.5-inch vertical jump, which would have ranked first among quarterbacks who participated at the NFL Combine. Penix, a prolific starter at Washington who finished runner-up in Heisman Trophy voting and led the Huskies to the national championship game, isn't exactly known for his athleticism. While he combined for 39 total touchdowns during his senior season at Washington, he registered just 8 rushing yards and suffered 2 torn ACL injuries during his collegiate career. "I just wanted to show that I'm athletic and I can do it with my legs if I have to," Penix said at his pro day. Cowboys and former RB have mutual interest in reunion, report. The Dallas Cowboys have yet to replace RB Tony Pollard, but they could bring back a very familiar face to reload. In a new report from ESPN insider Jeremy Fowler, Dallas and former running back Ezekiel Elliot are both into the idea of a reunion this offseason. Fowler's report dropped on March 30 and goes into detail about the two sides courting each other. The Dallas Cowboys and free agent running back Ezekiel Elliot have mutual interest in a reunion, sources tell ESPN's Jeremy Fowler. Fowler wrote. While a deal between Elliot and his former club has not been reached, both sides are open to it, sources added. The idea of Elliot coming back to Dallas after their 2023 breakup is sensational, to say the least. The longtime Cowboys RB was cut last year due to an engorged salary and a lack of trade partners. He joined the New England Patriots in free agency but regressed in several statistical categories. But after a mediocre season away from Dallas, Elliott's price has likely dropped again. Now, the Cowboys may be able to bring him back for cheap. He knows the Jones family and the organization well, so signing for the right price point could be a shrewd move for Dallas. Ezekiel Elliot takes New England detour. After an inability to find middle ground, Elliot needed a new home and Bill Belichick came calling. It seemed like an opportunity for the former Ohio State Buckeye to prove he still was a top-tier RB, but it's safe to say that didn't exactly happen. According to Pro Football Reference, Elliot totaled 642 rushing yards on 184 carries. He also scored 5 total touchdowns and added 313 receiving yards. Despite having a prevalent role, Elliott was only named the team's starting RB in 5 games. His average of 3.5 yards per carry was the lowest season average of his career. He has dropped in average yards over the past 2 years, going from 4.2 in 2021 to 3.8 in 2022 and then 3.5 yards per rush in 2023. That is where Elliot has red flags. He is clearly far less effective than he was in years prior. Signing him could be a valuable move for the Cowboys, but he feels far removed from being a feature back. Cowboys HC speaks on free agency approach. The report of a reunion somewhat collides with recent comments from the Cowboys' top brass. Head coach Mike McCarthy recently spoke on the team's free agency approach, saying they aren't in the market right now. "We're just not part of the free agent market right now. Also, there's a lot left," McCarthy said, as Heavy previously covered. "You'll probably have a market right before the draft or post-draft, and then you got your June 1st market, and obviously we'll have another draft class." In that quote, McCarthy clearly states that Dallas isn't ruling out any future moves. But the comment plus the team's lack of activity clearly showed they are taking their time. Elliot does feel like a different situation, though. The established relationship has likely expedited the channels of communication. 2023 Cowboys starter asking former team to bring him back report. The Dallas Cowboys have already lost a few different defensive pieces this offseason, but they could be prepping for another departure. After joining the team in a trade last offseason, Stephon Gilmore could be exiting Dallas just as fast as he joined the Cowboys. If Carolina Panthers edge rusher Jadeveon Clowney has it his way, Gilmore will be returning to Charlotte. On March 29, The Athletic reporter Joe Person posted a slice of a Clowney quote that saw him claim that Gilmore has been trying to get Carolina to re-sign him. Jadeveon Clowney on Stephon Gilmore. "I'm gonna try to get him to pull up, too." Says Gilmore told him he's trying to get the Panthers to bring him back, Person wrote on X. For fans who want Gilmore back, that is tough news to hear. That, coupled with Cowboys CEO Stephen Jones' recent words on Gilmore, seems to signal that the CB won't be coming back. Gilmore was a key player in the Cowboys' success last year, especially after Trevon Diggs had his season ended prematurely due to an ACL tear. But Dallas has two other CBs in the mix and may feel like the two-time All-Pro is surplus to requirements. Stephen Jones on Stephon Gilmore on March 25. Jones was interviewed by media members and the topic of Gilmore came up. Based on Jones' answer, it seems like the Cowboys are planning for the 2024 season without the 33-year-old. "It's just having to pick and choose where you want to use your resources," Jones said, per blogging The Boys' Brandon Laurie. "Not only was Stephon really good for us on the field, but I'd say a better guy off the field in terms of how he goes about his business, just being a pro, helping the young guys. I hope things go well for him, and he was nothing but very productive for us, and we don't ever rule that out, either." Gilmore's veteran presence and championship experience is something all teams want. But with Diggs healthy again and Darren Bland coming off an All-Pro campaign, Gilmore may just not be able to hit the field enough to make his salary worth it.